Hey guys, how you doing? Brandon the Baby Man here, and I just wanted to make a quick little uh, a vlog because I happened to watch a little movie last night on Netflix called White Fang. This is the 2018 uh, animated adaptation of the novel by Jack London, and I was in. Needless to say, I came across the trailer recently when I was browsing YouTube, and I was intrigued by it. It had very interesting looking animation, and you know, I like wolves, so and although I'm not too familiar with the original Jack London novel, I just thought it would be a fascinating watch. So I viewed it last night on Netflix, and needless to say, I really enjoyed it, and I wanted to share my thoughts on it with you in video, audio form, whatever you call this. So, if you don't know the plot to this story, or at least this adaptation of the story, essentially it's basically chronicling the life of this a wolf dog called White Fang. Uh, well, he's called White Fang later on in the movie. He doesn't have a name until someone calls him White Fang in the movie. But anyway, yeah, basically it begins off with you see him with this very dastardly looking dude named Beauty Smith, played by Paul Giamatti, and he's basically betting on White Fang in dogfights. Very violent dogfights, I might add. This movie does not play around with the violence, or well, basically, a White Fang winds up getting himself unconscious, and uh, him, along with this police marshal by the name of Whedon Scott, played by Nick Offerman, uh, uh, they White Fang gets knocked out unconscious in the fight, and Beauty Smith knocks out Whedon at this dogfight. And needless to say, we then flash back to the time when White Fang was a puppy, and him and his mother get through a series of events. They get we see them out in the wild, and then they get taken by this Eskimo tribe led by Gray Beaver, played by Eddie Spears, and the mother is taken off with another member of the uh, Native American tribe, and Eddie Spears and White Fang. They go off, and Beauty Smith, again played by Giamatti, he buys White Fang by force from Gray Beaver, and needless to say, Beauty does not treat Fang very well. Oh, by the way, White Fang's mother is named Kiche. I forgot to say that. But anyway, so White Fang, he, so we then flash forward. So we then flash forward again to White Fang and Whedon unconscious, and Whedon's wife Maggie, played by Rashida Jones. They're taken back to her and his place, and Maggie gets to know White Fang, and both Whedon and Maggie slowly start to warm up to him, and see that he's not so bad a dog after all, as his dogfight reputation precedes him. He's actually quite sweet, and yeah, that's all I can say without giving away spoilers. But needless to say, I really did dig this movie. First of all, the animation I thought was absolutely beautiful. I think they used some motion capture work on the humans, but honestly, I never really had a problem with motion capture as long as it's done correctly. Uh, Obviously, it can kind of look a little creepy to certain people, but me personally, I've never had a problem with it. But the animation, the setting, and and the animals look absolutely amazing, uh, and the humans have this really a unique look to them that I think really works in this for this type of story and a way of telling a story. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, I think it works. Uh, I also really like the fact that, surprisingly, I was surprised by this. The animals in this movie do not talk, which, oh my goodness, I love me some talking animal movies, but oh my goodness, this this film really benefits from not having any animals talk and acting more like actual animals. You know, they don't speak like humans. There's no celebrity voices. Trying to throw in some pop culture catchphrases. It's more of a naturalistic, humanistic story in that regard, and I really appreciated that choice they made for having the animals behave more like animals and not like humans. I think it really benefits from that. And I also really enjoyed the characters. I loved Whedon. Nick Offerman really did a great job. Rashida Jones was really sweet as Maggie. And Eddie Spears' Grey Beaver. He was also really solid. Paul Giamatti as Beauty Smith. Sweet Jesus. He was a little bit creepy. He kind of, but in a good way. He's the villain. You're supposed to think he's creepy and not like him and all that good stuff. You're supposed to hate him in a way, and he did a really great job. And he, in a way, his character design, the way his character is designed, and his mannerisms, he actually kind of reminded me a bit of Nebuchadnezzar from Monster House. If Nebuchadnezzar didn't actually have a soul hidden beneath his, creepy interior. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, it kind of reminded me of that a little bit. And let's see, what else can I talk about? Been a while since I've done one of these audio vlogs, so yeah, animation is great, voice acting is solid, the characters were all really sweet. I love seeing White Fang and all his, not really antics, but just sort of the way he communicates with humans through his naturalistic dog way, and the way he interacts with the world around him, as a wolf dog would do. I it was so sweet to see, and I especially love the opening flashback to his puphood, where we actually see him with his mother, and the fight with the lynx was that was exciting, to say the least. Yeah, I guess that's really all I have to say about White Fang. If you haven't seen it yourself, definitely, if you happen to have a Netflix account, definitely give it a watch. It's a really intriguing movie, and I think you'll get a kick out of it. It's definitely a step up from some of the other animated stuff that's coming to Netflix, like Sahara, which looked nice from an animation standpoint, but the story, you just watch Razorblades' review of that movie, and you'll see what I mean. But yeah, I really do hope that people go out and support this movie on Netflix. Just all you need is a Netflix account, and it should be right there. Just type in White Fang, and give it a watch. It's only like 80-90 minutes long. I think it's or like yeah, I think that's the runtime. I could be wrong, but yeah, definitely go out and watch this movie, and tell me what you think about it in the comments section below. And I guess until next time, definitely take care of yourself, guys, and I shall see you at the movies.